I'm Aaron from Macdaddy Music. Today we're going to talk about what the difference is between distortion and overdrive. They're very similar, but they're definitely not the same thing. I like to think of distortion and overdrive kind of in terms of a spectrum, where on one side you go from just a clean amp with no distortion or overdrive at all, and as you move to the other side you begin to get into the realm of overdrive and heavier overdrive, until at some point there's not really a clear definition, but at some point near the middle you start to turn into the realm of distortion, where it's a heavier sound, and all the way on the far end you've got very heavy distortion, which you hear in a lot of different types of metal music. So to demonstrate the difference between the two, we're going to look at a couple of different guitar pedals. The first is the ModTone Dyno Drive. It's got a tone control, a level control, which is just the overall volume, and a drive control, which controls the amount of overdrive. The other is the T-Rex Tonebug Distortion pedal. It's got a gain control, which is the amount of distortion, a tone control, and a level control, which again is just the amount of overall volume. So here we go, we've got both guitar pedals lined up with the tone controls both centered, the level, i.e. volume controls, centered, and we're just going to start with both controls at about 9 o'clock, then do one at 12 o'clock and one at 3 o'clock, so you can kind of hear the difference between the two different effects and the two different pedals. We are just using a Les Paul style guitar with Seymour Duncan pickups and a Mason Nomad amplifier on the clean channel. So here is the guitar amp with a clean setting for reference. Alright, so now I'm going to go with the first setting on the overdrive pedal. So as you can hear, you still hear the original clarity of the clean signal, but you start to get some breakup and a little bit of overdrive that adds a little bit of grit to the signal. Now we're going to switch over to the distortion pedal, and you'll hear some immediate differences. So already some pretty drastic differences between the two. We're going to go up to 12 o'clock on both pedals, and you'll start to hear even some more significant differences. So there is the overdrive. Again, you can hear it's starting to get a little bit more of an aggressive sound, but it's still relatively tame compared to the distortion pedal. And here we go to the middle setting on the distortion. So again, the differences are starting to become a little bit more distinct between the two. They were already there to begin with, but they're even more distinct now. Now we're going to go all the way, max both pedals out, and we'll listen to the overdrive first. So you can hear it's starting to have some similar characteristics to the lower settings of the distortion pedal, but still it's a fair amount of clarity to the effect. And here we're going to go with the highest setting on the distortion pedal, and it's going to be pretty heavy. So there you have it, some differences between distortion and overdrive. Two similar effects, but definitely a lot of differences as well. If you've got questions on this or anything else, please give us a call, drop us an email. We'd love to help you out.